Hello Flosstube, welcome back. My name is Stuart, this is the channel Stuarts and Stitches, and we're talking about cross stitching today as we usually do. One day I might talk a little bit more about some of my other crafty hobbies, but at the moment we'll just stick with the cross stitch. Where else can you find me? You can find me on Instagram at Stuarts and Stitches, same name as the channel. And I also have an email under that name, stuartsandstitches@gmail.com. I can be contacted in either of those channels or comment away below in the video. On my last video, it was great seeing all the comments as usual. Enjoy reading them, sharing them with Carl, as I said before. It was great going over, hearing where people are from, what they're up to with their stitching, and seeing some of the questions they've got. So please do keep the comments coming. And it's ho 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 season. We're into December now. Our tree went up the other day there. So it's time to hunt out a Santa hat. Not quite Grinch-like, but we'll go with Santa. Carl arranged this in my head before I started. He insisted this was put on. I was going to save it for my next one, but here we are. We are in the Christmas season, so, well, technically Advent, but we'll call it Christmas. So, say today is a Saturday today, the 7th of December. Looking at the bottom of my laptop screen there, and I see that. So yes, we are the 7th of December. A day early because we're away out tomorrow for the day. We're off down to Dumfries, which is down in the southwest of Scotland, to visit some friends for the day. I'm saying for the day, it's going to be for the afternoon. The weather is absolute crap just now. Storm Darach is winging its way through. We are not so bad up here. We've just had a bit of wind and rain, but over in the west, down in the west rather, in England, I think they've been hit quite bad so far. So fingers crossed all we get is a bit of typical autumnal weather for Scotland, which will be fine. Cope with that, done it for years. Same old, same old. So where do we start today? Let's have a look at some Q&A. I'm going to be looking past the camera at my laptop screen because Carl has pinched the tablet. So I'll just use the laptop to have a look at my questions. So where one or two came out from it, so let me just have a look and see what we've got. So Patty Henshaw was asking about paying monthly for retreats. That all depends on your retreat organiser. Our organiser, Donna, allows us to pay 4 instalments leading up to the retreat, which is what some people will pay the full payment up front. I tend to pay per month for it. Basically, the overall cost is divided by 4, and we just send that money off to Donna every month, and then she gathers it all together and sends it on to the hotel. Well, so that's how that works out. Donna Parker asks me about my parking. I see you park your threads diagonally, but what do you do when you're stitching another colour? Do you just go over the thread like it wasn't there? Well, generally when I move on to a section where there are part threads, I'll stitch in all the part threads in that section first before I introduce any new colours, and then that clears the way for it. Claire Bestman asks if I'm going to take part in the Haid Sal. So far I'm resisting. I bought the design that drew me to it was a Jan Patrick Krasny one, Unicorns and Waterfalls or something along those lines. That was the one that tended me. Then I decided during the last sale there to go and buy the full chart. So I thought, well, instead of paying $15 for a small bit of the chart that I like, I might as well pay $9.50 and get supersize max colour. I mean, why not? Go large or go home. So that's what I've done. I'm tempted also by the Lars Stewart coloured one. Was it Drinks on the Beach? I mean, the topic itself is dear to my heart. Gin on the beach would always be a good thing. But the colours in that are glorious, so I'm tempted by that. However, we shall see. I did sign up for the Cross Stitch Studios annual stitch along though, so there is a full coverage stitch along in my future. What else have we got? So Kristenberg Wingnut Studio has asked, she's tempted by the idea of doing full coverage, and what would I recommend for someone who's never done one? Buy a chart and get to the stitching. There's nothing to be nervous of in full coverage. It's the most simplest form of stitching because it's just one X after another. There's no back stitch, there's no French knots, nothing fancy going on. You're just stitching a lovely picture. And just pick one of a designer who has pictures you like. So Heaven and Earth Designs or Cross Stitch Studio, Pain Free Crafts, any of the great ones, the well-known ones, whose charts are reliable and reputable. Just buy one and see how you go on. Don't put off by the size. I mean, you can do quick stitches or a small one or a crop, or just go full out super size match colours. Whatever you fancy. They are great fun though, and it's well worth the time put into them. What else do we have? So, STL Waters, they've asked about listening to Dracula for the Dracula Stitch Along. More on that as we go through this video today. Which version am I listening to, or more importantly, which reader am I listening to? So it was on Audible, and it was Greg Wise was the main narrator. There's a lady whose name I can't recall, and because I'm using my phone to record on, I can't go into my Audible and have a look. But the main narrator was Greg Wise, and it was a brilliant listen. I really enjoyed that, and I listened to it way before I finished the stitch along. But again, more on that as we go through the video. Gloria McKenna has asked, am I enjoying going through my bags and stash? I am, very much so. It's like meeting old friends again. Somebody I haven't seen for a while when I go into those bags. Shamefully for some of it, when I think how many years ago I bought the piece that we might be talking about. But yes, it's great fun. I'm really enjoying that. And then we've got Doc Stitchy. What are they asking me? What am I using for floss drops currently? Gift tags off Amazon. It's as simple as that. Let me show you what I mean. I have some behind me. Oh, here we go. I have so many things sitting behind me. However, these are basically parcel gift tags from Amazon. You can buy them in a pack of 100 for about £6 or £7 here in the UK. They come pre-punched with this heart shape and the wee hole at the top to go in a steel ring, a metal ring, and it doesn't need to be anything fancy. And given the amount of full coverages I've got, there's no way I could afford to buy like Annie's Keepers, which are also in here for someone else, or any other fancy system that you may care to mention or think about. But parcel gift tags, as good as anything. I pinched that idea from Eleanor and the Yorkshire Stitchers when she was posting in her video one day. And I think that might do for the questions. There's quite a lot to get through today, so I'll keep the questions there, and so I can go through and see which other ones I might choose to answer, which will be most of them. They're all sensible questions to ask me, or they could be funny questions, which I will always attempt to answer as well. What's next? Whips. Talking about whips then. So, when you're watching the video, I'd love to know what you're stitching on as you watch. If you are stitching, please drop it in the comments. It's always good for me. I'll go and have a look and I think, oh, I've never heard that, as I wander off for a wee bit of more stash enablement. So whips, let's see, what have we got? They're scattered around me. I have 4 to look at. So it's the first one to hand. Kim Hollenbeck had put up a post, and I think it was Full Coverage Fanatics and on Instagram. I think she's Spartan Stitcher on Instagram, about using up odd scraps of long skinny scraps of fabric and using them for story keeps, which I thought was a great idea. I had started one a wee while ago, one of the Randall Spangler ones, History of Chocolate, just a regular one. I started that, oh god, that was one of the ones that was years ago. I'd overstretched it on my frame though, and the fabric had separated here and there, so it's now been ditched and I've done a restart. But in the interim, Michelle has done a supersized version of Books of Dreams, it's called, which is a whole raft of book spines that Randall Spangler's done, and on the chart they're all separated by white space, which is great because you can just pick one and do them, which is an idea I got from Kim. And so that's what I've done, picked that and ran with it, and I'm restarted History of Chocolate, and I'm so glad I have. I'm really enjoying this. This one I'm stitching on the diagonal. It is on 18 count. I'm doing it 2/1, and one day in the sweet by and by it will look like, scrolling down, here we go, because I've got to scroll about 4 or 5 times to get to the bottom of my pattern keeper. I'm not quite sure what that says about my charts I have on here. I don't want to view PDF, I want to view mock-up. Come here. Right, here we go. So if I can just swizzle this round, if it behaves itself, there we go. And the one we're looking at is the first one here, which is History of Chocolate. That one. So that's the one I've started. It looks fun. I love the draglets, or the draglings rather. There are in this, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11. Will I ever stitch all 11? Who knows? But anyway, here's my start. I've done about 1,000 odd stitches on this so far. I'm parking, so there's threads everywhere. So there we are. We have tootsies. We have draggling tootsies. Aren't they cute? And that's the start of his belly. Oh, this chocolate-loving dragon, or dragling. The confetti down here, by the way, was someone else. As you can see, probably by the number of threads that are parked and kind of hanging about. There we are. Oh, and there's more. Aye, there we go. Look at that. I love that. I love parking. I love seeing all these threads hanging about like that. It's great fun. So this is a piece of 18 count that I have got another story keep on it, a wide one that I've shared with you before. What Lies Within. I think that was one of my first videos. Did I say this is Flosstube number 8? I hope I did. If I didn't, it is Flosstube number 8. So that's that. Next to talk about is Dracula, because it happens to be sitting next to me. This is going to get worked on today, later on. Where are we today? This is what, about 3 o'clock? Oh no, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. Where has the day gone? So, Stitching Book Club, Kristen, Stitching Book Club, her latest offering is Dracula. Stitch along in 3 parts. We've had the first 2 parts, which I've completed, and we're on to the 3rd part, which came out today. So that's my plan later this afternoon, is to make a start on that. I won't show you what that is until I've done my stitching on it. Just keep the mystery. If you're not in the book club, if you haven't signed up to this stitch along, you can savour the suspense till I finish this, and I'll share it in my next video probably. So I'm stitching this on a Sparklies fabric. I even have the label. It's a fabric of the month for May, June 2024. It has no name. It's a 28 count linen. And here we are. We get the main man himself this time. So the last time you saw it, the coffin was there, but was empty, and we had the bats and all of the border, you see. So now the coffin has its occupant, fast asleep, thank goodness. We have the baying wolves, the children of the night, what sweet music they might make, and some roses, or well, flowers of some sort anyway. I love the wolves. I think they've come up really well in this fabric. Let me just... I'm peering over here just to see what you can see. Oh, aye, there we go. So yeah, you get a good picture of it. And the colour of the fabric is, you're seeing what I'm seeing. It's a kind of grey neutral sort of thing. So that's 2/3 of the chart, and the last third has come out. Just as I said, the stitching has been quite dense. Yeah, that's true, but it's been lovely. I've really enjoyed it. I love how it's looking in this. The effect is really good. I'll just put that back in my Lowry because that's going to get worked on later today. I'll also have some tea after this. What's next to show you? Oh yes, I had a fill-in day yesterday because I'd stopped working on something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I'd finished the diagonal on the story keep, and I didn't want to start another diagonal because once you start a diagonal, you've really got to finish it, and that would have been another 400 to 500 stitches. I thought, no, I'll just leave that. So yesterday I had a fill-in day, and for that fill-in I decided to pick up one of the fabulous houses, the first one in it, from Cottage Garden Samplings, and it's Santa's house. Very appropriate. Ding ding. Ho 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 and all that. So that's what it's going to look like. These, by the way, are deceptive. Do not be deceived by what looks like to be a small image. There's a lot of stitching going on there. I started this quite a while ago now. Can't remember when. One of my plans for the start of the year is to have a diary to write things stitching related down in, or when I start something or when I get something, all that stuff. But here's where we are. So it's looking not bad. So most of what you see here you've already seen. So what I did yesterday was I filled in this red here which is the fancy thread that they're using, which is, as he looks at it, Ladybug from Classic Colourworks. So it's a nice variegated red. So I did all of that. Yes, I'm seeing all of that. Yes, I'm not quite sure how much that is. That all probably 200, maybe 200 odd stitches or so. So we're working up the house. I say working up the house, the big house. Well, it's called Santa's house for a reason, I suppose. So that's that one. That's been stitched on a 32 count fabric of some sort or other. I can't recall what the fabric is, rather who designed the fabric. I would suspect either the Sparkleys or West Greenloft yarn, by the look of it. I don't think it's Crafty Kate, because I don't think when I got this fabric I wasn't in her club. So I'm just pinning the chart back to it with a needle keep, so that doesn't get separated. And the last piece I worked on was a Mirabilia piece. A beadless Mirabilia piece, but there is gold work, there is petite treasure braid all the way around a very big border. The border is only one stitch wide all the way around, but it encompasses the whole design, so there's lots of petite treasure braid, or what am I using, petite treasure braid or craning I think it is I'm using. I've got 3 spools of the stuff. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about Mirabilia's Garden Verses. So there's what she'll look like when she's finished. And if you look up, I think it's June Rivera, a Philippine boy. He's a very talented stitcher, does lots of Mirabilias and Bella Filipinas. He has just posted up on his Instagram finishing this, and it looks gorgeous. And here's where I am over in the bottom left hand corner. This is on one of my needle needs frames, and there's where we are. So this has just been stitched on a 32 count natural linen, called for threads. And I love these rich browns and blues that I'm using browns and reds that I'm using just now. So I'm thinking of blues because I know there's going to be a blue purple element coming down over our dress very, very shortly. But that's where we are. Bring it in so you can see a bit better maybe. Aye, that's better, isn't it? So that's the whips. We have a finish. Well, I've got 2 finishes to show you. One that I finished since my last video, and one of my previous finishes before I started recording. So let's see. I'll show you the one that was a current whip and is now a finish. You'll probably be able to guess what this is if you've been watching. This is the stitch along from Tempting Tangles called Smaug's Erebor. Smaug as in the Hobbit, Erebor the Lonely Mountain. So the last clue for that came out on Thursday, and it was only a small clue, which I expected because it was kind of the last segment of the circle. It's a kind of circular design, as you'll see when you look at it. There's only about 200 or 300 stitches in it, so I didn't take long to do, and here it is. So the last part was that upside down sea monster. It was his tail, and the wee fishes round that was effectively all that was left. So we've got Smaug up the top here, the Lonely Mountain, Erebor, and then we've got the sea, we've got a wrecked ship there, and a sea creature, which interestingly, if I turn it upside down, looks equally as effective. Okay. I'm not quite sure what Smaug would make of being upside down, but I like that. I like seeing the sea creature on the ship. There's a different perspective. So that was stitched in a 32 count piece of linen from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. I'm saying linen. Jobalan. No, it was even weave, and it was called Tropical. So one more look before I put this away. So there's Smaug himself, and there you go. That was great fun. I really enjoyed that. That was over 6 months. The parts came out every 2 weeks, And the parts were that very achievable within a couple of days. So I'm sorry that's now finished. I really enjoyed that. I always look forward to the next part coming out and seeing what was in it. So set that to the side. Bring these out. That's a future haul to talk about. I'll put that over there. And the piece, an older piece that I finished some time ago, and given what time of year we're at, I thought this would be a nice time to show it. A lavender and lace. I love lavender and lace designs. There's something about Marilyn Levin and Blitz's designs they're just beautiful. One of the first pieces I ever did was one of her angels, the Angel of Light, which is hanging up. It used to hang in my mother's living room, and it is now sitting downstairs in our house. So I might have ironed it before I showed you, but I didn't. Let's have a look. So this is one of the Celtic ladies. This is Celtic Noel. So you'll understand why I think this is a good one to show just now. Let me come back a bit, see if we can get her all in the camera. Oh, aye, there we go. Look at that red, isn't it lovely? So let's bring it in a wee bit and have a look at the gorgeous sparkle and the beads. I loved all the colours in this, all those reds and golds. They just speak to me. That gorgeous dress draped over the bottom there. One day I'll get her framed. One of my friends who goes to the retreats with me, Lorna, she has done this piece as well, and she's had hers framed, and the matting has been cut out to follow the shape of the dress, particularly at the bottom where it hangs over the border. It's gorgeous. It looks so good. Right, that was fully finished objects. So the next thing we're going to look at is the bags. I don't have any new bags that I've made to show you. However, I have been making bags. Some of the ladies on here, some of you have been kind enough to get in touch with me and ask me to stitch you up a bag or see what I've got already made up, and you've been buying them from me. So thank you very much for those of you who have done that. It's been great. It always helps for the Christmas spending, so thank you. But what I have made, before we go into the bags themselves, Amanda at the last retreat asked if I would be able to make her a cover for her lamp, you know, like the daylight lamps, or the pure light lamps that we have with the magnifier in them, because we've all heard the horror stories of the sun shining through the magnifying lamp and causing burn marks in the fabric, or even worse. So I thought, I'll have a look, see what I can find. So I had a wee trawl through YouTube, I found a couple of videos, and I was able to combine what was there to produce something that I thought might be useful. And that's what I've got here to show you. I haven't put the cording through this one because it's basically a drawstring pouch is what we're talking about. But that's it there. It's great for using up the odds of fabric I've got left over for making bags. And then the drawstring just goes through there. And it's lined inside, so you're not going to scratch your lamp. This is a prototype for me, hence why you can see the stitching, the top stitching along there. I would normally try and do that in a shade that matches the fabric, but for me I wasn't that bothered. And that was quite straightforward to make, so I have another sewing string to my bow. Right, bags. This week's bags. What's in the bags? What have we got? So, nice colourful fabric this one is. This is one of my ones as well. This is all sewing machines and keep calm, sew on, gather fabric. It says all these kind of things on it. All good fun. As is what's in it. So this is Bella Filipina. He says, "Oh aye, that's where they went." And you had her sister somewhere. So you may recall earlier on I showed you Tala from Bella Filipina, the deity of the skies or the stars, I think she is. I also have her sisters, Hanan, deity of the morning, and Mayari, deity of the moon. So yes, that's coming up without the glare. And there's that one. And then we have a stranger from the same designer, Bella Filipina. This is Magwayen. which is also in the queue for stitching. There's some queue, by the way. So we have all the goodies for the sisters. So they'll be stitched on 28 count Supernova Opalescent from Sparklies. So it looks like that. Yeah, you see the sparkle there. Just like the night sky. So that fabric is in there. So they're all kitted, ready to go. And they just need to go. The threads are out because they're being used just now for Tala. So it's all on the same thread hoop. But oh, I do have the threads for Magwayen. Let's see. There's my gift tags again. Consistent, you see, consistent. Oh, just need to run my fingers through my threads. Never miss an opportunity. See, you've no hair, you've got to run your fingers through something. When your husband has no hair, you're stuck. It's threads or nothing. There we go. That seems sorted. That's nice. Strange, isn't it? So there's that in there, and oh, I've got all the goodies. So that's Magwayen's goodies. That's our beads and whatnots. Oh, now they're the sight to cheer your heart. A whole bag of Cranix. Isn't it lovely? Says you who stitching with Cranix. However, it's worth it in the end. Petite Treasure Braids, I love Petite Treasure Braid as well, but I just have a general thing against stitching with metallics, to be honest. But it is what it is. Now we have a smaller bag this time. This is a fishy bag. We have lots of fish. Again, one that I made some time ago. I can tell with the zip. I bought some invisible zips, not realising they were invisible zips for dressmaking, but I used them anyway and they worked fine. So what have we got in here? Well, what we've got is something that Carol bought me last Christmas at my request, which to my shame I have not yet started, and he kitted it up for me as well, bless him. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about Something Wicked This Way Comes from La-Di-Da, which I love. I think it's a great design. And it came with the call for fabric. This has got a label on it, I'll tell you what it's called. If it doesn't have a label on it, then the chart might tell me. Not obvious to me. But there we are. That's a lovely colour, isn't it? And then we've got the NPI silks for it. So there's those beauties. So that I really must get to that. I should aim to have that done for next Halloween. Make a nice wee cushion, a wee pillow to set out and display. So that's in this bag. There's one or two things in this bag actually. What else have we got? Something from the Sampler House by Brenda Gervais. I don't even remember getting this. But it's got the threads. Let's try turning it that way. Aye, there you go. You can get an eye. You sort of see what it's looking like through the Mickey Mouse lights. So that's in there. What a thing to admit that I forgot I had it. There's other things in here as well. Another Scarlet House. This is Strawberry House Pin Keeping Scissor Weight. Oh, somebody in Flosstube is the guilty party for this. I can't think who it was that did this. I need to have a scratch in my head to see who typically stitches this kind of thing. But somebody showed this and I thought, oh, I like that. So off I went to get it. Ellie Welly Stitcher springs to mind as a possible culprit, but aye, there we go. So that's in there. This is also a bag of kind of traditional stitching, for want of a better term. Oh, another one I had forgotten. This is dreadful. And again, I've got the threads. There we go. Home for Christmas from Plum Street. Now with 3 Plum Street samplers on 3 Plum Street pieces on order from Peakside just now. Latest releases. Can't remember the names at the moment, but Sue posted up on Facebook, and I thought, oh, I'll just be having those. So I'll just wait for them to arrive and get invoiced for. And we have one from the blue. Oh, I love this. This is from the Blue Flower. Night Walked Down. Again, got threads. And there's a wee versette on it. Night walked down the sky with the moon in her hand. Is it Kai? Aye, there we go. It's looking alright. I think I might save the rest of this bag for another day because there's still lots to talk about and I don't want to get distracted too much, so I'll put the stuff I've shown back in at the back with it. This bag might make probably make another appearance. I just saw a quick glance and there's 2 or 3 other old friends in there, so we'll keep this bag out for the next video, I think. Right, that was bags. Haul next. So there's all sorts of goodies in the haul section. So sit back, pin your ears back. So first off, seize it's to hand. Who's this? This is Arnar Woodworks from Kentucky. I'm saying Kentucky, it's KY. Is that Kentucky? Let's see if on their invoice or the card here if there's a message of an address. Was I right? Yes, I was. Arnar Woodworks, Kentucky. So, Rich from there had posted up on Instagram, rather, that he started making thread holders. He was looking for some comments around what sizes for the holes, and some people responded, and he's making them from real wood. I think I'll get a dark oak and a cherry wood, possibly. So I'd got in touch because he's in America, but he says if anybody out with America is interested in buying these, get in touch and we can sort the postage out. So I did, and he did, and they arrived. And they're great. They're great quality. It's real wood, and they've got a lovely, lovely wee cat stamped on them. So there's one. Look at that cat. Where's the camera? All right, there we go. And there we are. Each hole is numbered 1 through 20, whatever it is, the 21. Aye, 21 holes on it. And there's the other one. Wee cat. And then when they sent it, there was a wee someone else in it as well, which is really kind of them. The wee note was saying that his wife Roxanne had been watching my Flosstube and heard me mention I was using 3-inch post-its to measure in from the edge of a fabric, because I generally stitch with a 3-inch margin. As a 3-inch post-it saves me doing a lot of counting. Just put it in, stab the needle down at the top right-hand corner, and we're good to go, because I start in the bottom left. So she sent me their corner gauge, which isn't just for 3 inches. The holes there cover from 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5 to 3 inches. So the workmanship on these is excellent. There's no sharp edges. The edges are nicely rounded. They feel good. They're wood. So I would recommend going and having a look. They also do thread winders as well. So well worth looking. If you're in the UK, it does no harm just to drop them a wee message on Instagram saying this is what you might be interested in and asking what the postage would be, which is what I did. And lo and behold, a week or so later, it drops through the letterbox. So there is more haul. The other things that came in the haul. I signed up, as I mentioned, the last one I signed up to the Bella Filipina Stitch Along of all the threads. I'd got the bead pack at the retreat. I've ordered my fabric and sparklies. I'm just waiting for that to arrive. And my metallics arrived this week from Arts and Designs, which is where I bought my beads from. So quick reminder, you can never have too much goodness of beads, can you? So there's those. Do they show up alright in the light? Aye, probably. Well, if I try and get out of the glare. Aye, there we go. And then these are the 4 metallics that are used. So that's that, and the threads are sitting downstairs on the couch getting wound onto cards, well, not as we speak, because I'm the one that's doing them. So that's in the front of the television job. The other day I was on Amazon, as one often is. Carl was wanting a couple of things off Amazon, so I was ordering that. And at the same time I had a chart, there was a dimensions kit that was sitting, I'd been looking at it, I thought, oh well, if I'm ordering this, I might as well order this for myself. So I did. What did I order? One of my own bags again. This is a vinyl fronted bag with glittery vinyl from Denelm. Crafty Emily told me that was a good place to get the glittery vinyl, so off I went. And Julie got some, and that was fine. Sorry, my laptop behind this is doing funny things. I just need to get it to the screen of something I want to talk about next. Don't tell me I've lost what was it. No, that's it. We're on it. Right. I digress. So this is what's in here. It's Victorian charm, as I recall. Yep, I recall correctly. So that's the design itself. Comes with its own dark blue fabric and threads, which I've just sorted out. It's on the dimensions, normal dimensions threads, i.e. they're on these cards. You know the drill. Those things. What I do with these is I just get out a hole punch and rattle along the top there with the... Sorry, helps I hold it up so you know what I'm talking about. Rattle along there with a hole punch, cut these and look them through the punched holes. And then for the blends, I'll just use one of probably one of those for the blends to keep them organised, and I'll just mark in the chart, in the key in the chart, the stitch hole number that blend is in. So that arrived. Quite a lot of hole this time. I would say it's not like me, but I'd be lying. What else did we get? So, Pip and Chip, a great floss organiser company in the UK here. They brought out what they called a floss organiser, which is a tray with a slot for 24 bobbins, 24 of their own bobbins. These 3mm acrylic bobbins, those ones, which are stamped with the code and the colour. And they fit in this tray nice. I won't go for eggs, I've got 4 bobbins in here just to let you see it. And then you can get your name etched onto it as well. So obviously I got one of those. So it's got my name on it, Stuart. Then they brought out another one which is double the size. So you've got a tray on either side now of the organiser part in the middle. So of course, what can I do? I had to get one. So without further ado, here it is. And as you can see, I've got my channel name in this one, Stuarts and Stitches. So we've got 24 slots on either side here, so 48 in total, and they hold their bobbins nicely. And I bought myself a set of blank bobbins to use. So those, because my bobbins from Pip and Chip at the moment have got CXC on them, but for my what's the word I'm looking for? For my like fancy ladies and that, I generally prefer to use DMC or what's the other one? Royal Broderie threads. For that, I mean, I'm not averse to using CXC on fancy lady. Tala, for example, has been done on CXC threads, and she's coming up lovely on that. So it's just horses for courses, really. And the last part of haul is, well, it's an unboxing. So, Historical Sampler Company contacted me via Instagram. It took me a while to actually realise it contacted me. It disappeared into those in the outer reaches of the messaging system on Instagram, and I was just looking one day and I thought, oh, what's that? And I read it, and they'd been in touch saying, would I be interested in receiving their little owl sampler kit? Am I right in saying that's the name of it? Scrolling down the page, I had my prompts here. Yes, Little Owl Patchwork Stitch Along, which starts in January. So it's still open for purchase. Finished size in this will be 24 by 24 centimetres, which, as he reaches for his measuring tape, was 24 on that side, is 9.5 inch square. So it's a nice size. So they say, would I be interested in receiving it from them as a gift, and would I be willing to talk about it on my channel? And I says yes and yes. So it arrived. Arrived in a box. Nice box, nicely boxed. I'll show you the back because the front's got my address on it. And there we are. So what's in the box, you may ask? Well, it came nicely packaged, as you would expect. This lovely kind of wax paper, sort of. It's lovely paper. Feels really nice. I think possibly freezer paper because it has some substance and body to it. Now, so let's start with what's in it. So the first thing that was at the top of the package was this. this little envelope, nice, good quality as well, good stiff card envelope, and it holds the fabric and the threads. So when they got in touch, they asked would I prefer Aida or linen, so I said linen. So I got a nice piece of 32 count platinum linen. It's a good size, it's a fat quarter, so there's plenty extra there. I just need to edge it in the sewing machine to stop it fraying, but that is lovely. Very happy with that. And the threads come all organised. I haven't unravelled them yet, so I'm not going to do it now. You can see the colours there. All organised in the card, so that's all good. Get that back in there. So the PDF, the stitch log itself is via PDF, which will come through my emails. So I'll look forward to that in January. That'll be another stitch along. I seem to be into stitch alongs just now for some strange reason. We got a wee nerd hoop. Nice green one. That's all going to slide. Do it to the side of me here. There's just never enough room. We get chocolates. And I'm looking forward to getting into these. To be honest, you're lucky they survived this long. They're not open yet, but look at that. Chocolate lonely little bits. I'm keeping them out the box, they're not going back in. No point. Pure waste of time. We've got floss drops. These are nice. I bought something like these off Etsy a year or so ago. I mean, they're good for colours are fairly obvious. You might be a bit challenged to put a wee sticker on them with a number on it, but I'll be able to use those quite happily. We've got a notepad and clipboard. I always look as if I'm busy then if I'm walking around with my clipboard. Shades of when I used to work. And the motto on the pad is, there's a rainbow overhead and sunshine just around the corner. Obviously doesn't live in Scotland. Lovely pair of Stork scissors, green scissors. Never have enough scissors. Somebody uttered the heresy in Flosstube the other day when I was listening to it. They thought people might not want a lot of scissor fobs because they might get fed up with having too many scissors, and I'm thinking to myself, who has too many scissors? And a lovely owl needle keep. Isn't that cute? And at the bottom, the last thing we've got is a nice drawstring calico cotton canvas bag. Happiness is homemade, and it draws in nicely. That'll be useful for keeping all this together eventually. That's actually good material as well. That would fit over my lamp. Aye, that's an idea. I must deconstruct a bit visually anyway. Right, so that was that. So, Historical Sampler Company, if you're watching, I think it was Suzanne was the lady I was speaking to. Thank you so much for getting in touch and sending this to me. I'm delighted with it. The contents of the box are lovely, and I'm looking forward to stitching this along with everybody else who's bought into the SAL. I'll drop a link to the page below. I have the page open on my laptop, so I'll copy that link and put it into the show notes down below. And if you're interested, please do go along, give them a look. I can't speak highly enough of the quality of the box. It's lovely. So, and it came very quickly, so I'm very pleased with that. So that's the haul, he says. Is that the haul? That is the haul, yes. I did buy a couple of PDF charts during the Heaven and Earth Designs SAL, because I bought that one that I showed you, the Story Keep one. I also bought the one that's in... Sorry, my internal memory is telling me what I just said there. Heaven and Earth Designs Sale, not SAL. I've lost the one off my tablet. Oh, there we go. And now it revolves. Right. The other thing I bought was... Let me just get the name of this one before I show you the mock-up. Super Size, Max Colour, Unicorn Valley of the Waterfalls, which is the one that drew me to the SAL, and then decided, oh well, I might as well just buy the full chart. because I like everything else round about it. So that's what that one looks like. And there's Mickey. That's better. The Sal version of this is just the temple that's in the middle there, which I thought was lovely, but then I decided so is the rest of the chart, so it was a shame not to have that. So that is there. One of my friends on Instagram, she's also bought that, and she has started it. I thought she's not wasting any time. So where did that come from? I have threads. That's the extras from Victorian Charm. Let me just put that back. Right, so that's that. Plans next, I think. Done haul. So plans. Plans. 2 weeks worth. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to finish Dracula. That's what's going to happen over the next few days. So if you watch me on Instagram, you'll probably see that getting posted as I trumpet the fact I've finished it. That'll be my third stitch along this year that I finished. There's Monster House, Smaug, and now Dracula. That is unheard of. I don't normally finish stitch alongs within their given time scale, so maybe this retirement lark's good for me after all. What else is there in plans? I had something I was going to show you. Oh yes, it's lurking here. Full coverage I want to do. So I started this. I think it was 2 years ago, one Christmas. I started a whole Christmas pile stuff, and I foolishly said about the 20th or so. I said that's probably all I'm going to start. Well, 2 days later, did I not start another one? And what was that other one, you might ask? It is, what's it called? Christmas Lane. This is Christmas Lane by Donna Gelsinger from Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a regular size one. I printed off the picture some time ago to put in the bag so I knew what I was lifting up. So that's the picture. Traditional Christmas sort of thing. I'm saying Donna Gelsinger. I'm sure it's Donna Gelsinger. Sorry, I was unfolding this to make sure I'm not misspeaking myself. Yep, Donna Gelsinger. So I was right enough. Her Christmas designs are lovely, aren't they? For those of you who like them. So, floss drops. More floss drops. These are cut shorter than these are cut because I'm doing this 1/1 full cross. So that length, well, because they're folded in half on there, double the length you're seeing there is what I will stitch with. So there's probably 89, 90 colours sitting in that ring. And you're saying, okay, you've told us a bit, let's see what you've done. So, don't hold your breath. As I recall, I don't think I got that much done on it. Come out the bag with the fabric. You probably see my hand now. Right, there we go. This is courtesy of Sainsbury's. I was in there on Thursday. And I'd been warned, get yourself a Santa hat. So, being a dutiful husband, I did what I was told. Doesn't happen very often. Keep quiet, the back rows there, no sniggering. For those of you who know me, and know my husband. Let's just loose thread off the fabric, that's fine. Right, let me wrangle the fabric into some sort of order for you. So I'm just blethering here. You tell it's a bed sheet, the way I'm folding it up. It might not be max colour, or super size, might as well be for the size of this fabric. Looking at this will be a 28 count, I think. No, I lie, 25 count. And I started this Royal Rose, but when I pick it up again, it's going on to diagonal parking. So, let's see what we've got. Not much, as I suspected. So we're down in the bottom left-hand corner. There. So I've done what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's about 1,300 stitches all told, probably. So that'll probably get picked up after Dracula's done with, and I'll put a few stitches into that and get it onto the diagonal. So that's in the plans. What else is in the plans, you might ask? There's no way I'm just doing 2. Well, the naughty stitching, my Trauma Finland piece needs some attention. It hasn't been picked up for a wee while, so I'll get busy on that. Sort out the threads for Bella Filipina, but I'm probably not going to start that one until January, I think. So as long as I'm organising my fabrics here, I'll be all good. Who have I been watching? Vlogmas, or whatever they call Vlogmas, Flossmas. These wonderful people that record every day between now and Christmas Day. I don't know how they do it, but some of them are hilarious, and some of them are really good fun to watch, and some are really interesting. Or all three, make your own Venn diagram up. So who have I been watching? So there's Kelly at Kel Stitches with her elf or ginger helper, depending which episode you're watching. Nearly wet myself. So I usually stitch when I'm watching, but that one I had to stop. I couldn't stitch when I was laughing so much. So there's Kelly, Caroline at Evertotes. Caroline, you've probably all watched Caroline, Off the Grid Needle Arts, lovely lady. So she's doing the Evertotes Christmas Stitch Along, which is the design by Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery. Next year I will have 99% certain I will aim to sign up for that. I've been meaning to for the past 2 years and just never did. Next year will be different. The design looks lovely. The reveals of the bits and pieces with it. So you get a thread colour. This year's one, it looks like the thread colour comes out every day and you stitch the part of the design that has that colour. Very cleverly done. So I'm enjoying watching Caroline with that. Who else I'm watching? Emily, Crafty Emily. Who's doing the Mill Hill Christmas beaded kits, button and beads kits. There was a whole raft of them came out, and she is putting them all in one long piece of fabric over 2 rows and working one each day. So that's coming along nice. It's really good fun watching and seeing what she's doing with those. I'm enjoying that. And there was one other, Andrew, the running stitcher. He's doing, I think he's got 2 or 3 calendars going. There's a chocolate calendar, which is a runner. That's fine. He'll be burning that off as he's eating it. Unlike the rest of us, myself, I'm included in that one. What else is he up to? He's got this Matchbox advent going on as well, which I'm enjoying seeing. And is he doing Evertotes? I think he might be. He's doing Caroline's stitch along with the Jacob piece, Modern Folk Embroidery. So those are the 4 main ones that I'm watching on an evening basis. 1 or 2 others might creep in as they pop up on my list, but I take my hat off to everybody who's doing that. I mean, I record this once a fortnight and get myself organised for that, and then clearing down afterwards is quite enough. Doing that on a daily basis, well, no, that's never going to happen. But anyway, they're the 4 I'm watching. I'll tag them below as well, so as you can go and give them a look if you're not already watching them. The normal content is always good as well, so it's not just the Vlogmas. I watch these people out with Vlogmas. They're one on my regular list of people to watch. What else is there to talk about today? I think that's it. We are at 53 minutes. Please do comment below. I always enjoy seeing the comments, and as I mentioned, let me know what you're working on. It always gives me inspiration to go and do some shopping. Dangerous, but why not? I probably will record again before Christmas, so 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks tomorrow, which will be, this is the 7th, tomorrow being the 8th, I had 14/22, 22nd of December, so I'll probably record then, and I can wish you all the compliments of the season at that point. Enjoy the excitement and the preparation for it just now. Advent is a season of preparation, so get busy with that, preparing. And I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Have I anything else I want to mention? I think that's it. My laptop just powered itself down there. That's why it suddenly went dark. Let's see if I can shake the mouse. There we go. We get a wee bit more light. That's fine. Okay, that's everything, folks. Take care. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.